But that's a spot that's just kind of like, do this thing that you've had no time to practice, do it perfectly. If you fail, repeat an entire stage. And that's... like, that's the thing. Is that they expect you to do a very difficult thing with very high precision that you haven't had time to practice, and the penalty for failure is very high. I made this complaint in Mario vs. Donkey Kong with some of the Donkey Kong boss stages, where you're playing the game in a way that is very different from the rest of the puzzle stages that you're playing. By the way, there's a random camera in a hidden pocket here behind a false wall. Yeah, so there's any time where a game changes up the way that it plays and then immediately expects you to play with high mastery in this new game format and punishes you harshly for failure. That is bad design. That is honestly a little bit abusive design. So, here's another one of those bonuses where you just need to grab enough stars as it goes down. This one, at least, if you screw it up, the holes, the entrance is just right there. You can turn around and grab it again immediately. This level I had to do a couple of runs of, because I ended up missing a lot along the way. And also dying a lot along the way. Because... actually, did I die a lot in this stage? I don't remember. A lot of these stages, like, the things that happened to me in them blur together. Like, the actual layouts of the stages honestly blur together sometimes too, even though I had to memorize the stages to get through. They're very samey in a lot of ways. There's not much in the way of, like, landmarks. There's just the shape of the walls is really the landmarks. The shapes of the walls and occasionally the enemies. That you just need to, like, remember how things go. And a lot of times it's not very memorable. So, like, yeah, I had to memorize every stage in this game. We'll get to why that is later, but I did have to memorize every stage in this game, and I finished playing this a few days ago, and I put it together to record the commentary over for this, and I've already, like, completely forgotten the stages. Like, I'm looking at these stages, and, like, bits and pieces of it are familiar, but once I finish playing the stage, it's completely unmemorable. Once I have finished needing to have it memorized, I don't remember it at all. And that's another indication of just bad design. Like, there's a lot of stages in Super Mario Bros. 3 that are very memorable. That, like, I can very clearly remember, even if when I play the game after having not played it for a long time. I'm like, oh, by the way, that's an example of an underwater enemy just vanishing as soon as the water is not there for it. But yeah, there's a lot of stages in, like, Mario 3 and other good platformers that, like, they're very memorable. All of the areas have, like, clear landmarks of things. You can remember there's, like, set pieces that you do that make things interesting and memorable. And this game, it's like, when you have all of these gimmick levels, each instance of the gimmick in that level tends to blend in with each other instance of the gimmick in that level. Whereas if you were to mix things up, introduce the gimmicks at the start as just game mechanics and then pepper them throughout, that would be a lot more memorable. It would be a lot more interesting. It would be a lot better of a challenge. Anyway, you get a free picture if you've visited Cranky's hut on every world. So, there's that. Yeah, there's... I feel like some of the hints in this block were actually, like, not accurate entirely. There's some things here that are just confusing. This one is just annoying. Like, yeah, there's a subtle hint in there. It's up to you to start, you know, up at the start. But literally he says, I ain't helping you with this one after you have paid for the hint. That is just, like, that is a fuck you from Rare. That is Rare insulting you. And yeah, they put a subtle hint in there. Yes, there's something. But there's still a big aspect of them just trying to rage bait you. And that's a very toxic gamer mindset of rage baiting people, and that's don't do that. Don't rage bait. Just ignore or encourage. You know, don't be an asshole. Have you considered that? Anyway, here's another entirely forgettable ostrich race course. I would say, oh look, it's got the bridge there, that's interesting, but we've already seen that. So, I don't know. It's there. This one is beige. Kind of brownish. It has a castle background. That's it. That's this one. Yeah, again, at least the espresso racing stages were pretty, like, simple. Like, other than there was the one in the Lost World that I wasn't prepared for stats-wise, and then there was the one that I got second place on and just needed to redo once. Otherwise, I cleared them all on the first try. That trophy is of the ostrich. It's a steer ostrich race trophy is the gold ostrich. And imagine if they did that for, like, every sport. Your racing trophy is a gold race car. Football trophy is a gold football player. They actually do kind of do that, don't they? In some things. Sports are silly. This is Castle Crush. This is a very, very slow stage, and it's very annoying. It takes 4.5 minutes for the stage to get from start to end, because it's an auto-scroller, and you can't do faster. So you just kind of have to let it go, and anytime you die, well, there's a whole big amount of auto-scrolling you need to redo, and this is an area where the graphics obfuscating hitboxes causes real problems. Because there were a bunch of times where I got crushed underneath a bit of wall that I didn't think I was under. That I thought I was, you know, just along the edge of the wall. Because look at how far you can overlap with the graphic of the wall before it, like, stops you moving in. Look at how much you overlap with the ceiling graphic before it stops you. And, like, if you look closely, you'll eventually notice that, like, okay, on the sides and on the ceiling, it's the darker part that's where the hitbox starts. But A, you have to look closely, which you're not necessarily doing when you're actively playing the game and trying to avoid obstacles, and B, that does not apply to the floor. If you'll notice here, the floor, you stand a bit above the dark part of the graphic. So, there's, yeah, it's actively obfuscating where the hitboxes are and making it inconsistent. Especially when you factor in that sometimes the hitboxes just don't exist because there's a secret passage in the wall. Yeah, the number of times that I have lost lives to Rare's shitty good graphics. The fancy-ass graphics that they did not implement properly is bullshit. It's just bullshit. There's a crook there who has a photo. Literally, if you just stand there and let the thing kill him while he's on screen, then you get it. Or you go to the bonus area, the secret back here where there's squawks, and you can kill him with a nut from behind. But you can literally just be watching him while the stage progresses and you get the photo for free. But of course you want to have squawks and fly ahead so that you can get the video game hero medal. Because you need to fly ahead so you can go back down there. And there's the bonus here because squawks turns into an explosion and blows up the wall for you. Your sacrifice will be forgotten immediately. The bonus is just more of the level. Bonus is just more of the level. It's auto-scrolling, and you run back and forth to avoid the walls in the auto-scroll, and then you get to the top. And that's it. Gold pepper's up there. One. So this is honestly a little bit clever. They have, from either side, they've got an enemy that you can only attack from the front, and an enemy that you can't attack from the front. You know, the enemies that one you have to jump on and one you have to roll into. That's kind of clever, is having those in the same area. Then they do that repeatedly throughout the stage, and it stops being clever. Spot with these zingers is just there to, like, spook you, make you panic and run badly. You can very easily just stand off to the side and they kill themselves before they get anywhere near you. This part is... it's not that actually difficult, but it's something that, like, it's hard to anticipate. With the two crooks throwing back and forth. Like, the exact way that you need to jump to avoid those. It feels a little unintuitive to anticipate when you haven't seen it yet. And oh no, there they have the two on either side with the one different one in the middle, and look at that. That makes it more interesting. And then up here you have the... of course I have to look behind the level exit because I'm always got to make sure that I'm not gonna miss out on a secret bonus behind the level exit that's important, so... you know, sometimes I just have to not bother with the end level goal, target goal thing to find a search for secrets, just to make sure I don't miss something and have to redo the whole stage. Especially that stage. Don't want to fucking redo Castle Crush. It's so goddamn long.